So just envious that was bouncing around here at the AT&T Stadium with the Oro. Tonight's DJ has this almost sold-out crowd in Arlington.
Well, the tickets went quickly. Rodolfo, what did you make of the first half? I mean, you're down there, you're seeing the reactions from the coaching staff. We're seeing them deep in conversation right now. What would you look to as the plus points and the minus points of that first 45?
Well, after the first 20 minutes where Mexico couldn't keep track of possession of the ball, I think they were better trying to finish that first half. They created chances. They weren't clinical enough. I don't think that David Ospina has struggled with a single shot from Mexico. That's where I think the Mexican team needs to be more surgical, creating goal-scoring opportunities, because this is a very frustrating Santiago Jimenez as of usual.
It is. Mexico get us underway to start the second half, attacking from left to right. You just heard from Rodolfo Landeros and Keith Costigan alongside Mariano Trujillo. And we have seen good responses from Javier Aguirre's sides when they have been in difficulty. Those two ties against Japan and South Korea, or South Korea game in particular, we saw it. Here's Lainez. We'll keep you updated on any potential changes as we move on. Vega and Lainez both on the same side right here.
Same 22.
Same 22. I was expecting some substitutions from Mexico.
Lainez. I think we're getting closer, isn't it, towards the World Cup, where you say, look, we're going to give you 60, we're going to get you that little bit longer. And these are high-profile friendly games. Diaz getting in behind. Diaz in and goal. That's good defending. Diaz was just trying to wrong foot Vasquez, who just read it well. It was an attempted nutmeg, but Vasquez got back in.
It was Lira providing coverage from Sanchez that wasn't in position. And you can see the experience of Johan Vasquez now playing in Italy in Serie A. Not diving, not overcommitting, being patient enough. He knows Diaz can go to the right foot. He's patient. Very well solved by Johan Vasquez. And I would like to see Luis Romo in the middle of the field. I think he's been playing. I'll let you go.
There's a good chance getting out wide here. The pullback, Pineda, that was better. Ospina finally is troubled from his shot. He took it well just on the half volley, and Ospina held on. Best move we've seen from Mexico.
Without a doubt, it wasn't easy for Orbelín Pineda. He's not happy with the results, of course. It wasn't an easy one because you don't have much time or space. Alexis Vega, again, has been, for me, the most dangerous player on that left-hand side for Mexico. I think Orbelín Pineda decides well. Obviously, the final result is not what he was expecting, but without a doubt, the best open play from Mexico in the whole game.
Vasquez, here's Montes. Again, that pressure coming. Sanchez. And they're playing through it. Lainez. That is better. Getting the ball forward and bypassing that midfield of Colombia. Here's that delivery again. Took it in stride well.
He couldn't. And it was a lack of communications from Colombia because they're all continue to go and protect that near post. Even Lerma was in between the two center backs, opening that gap for that pass from Alexis Vega.
Ernesto Lorenzo and Javier Aguirre have a discussion together. A lot of respect between those two coaches, and now we're going to see a yellow card produced. Suarez is the man who picks it up, and Ismail Elfat pointed to a number of different areas on the field. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's had enough.
And I think he's right. I mean, Suarez is late. There was a need for that challenge. He makes contact with Marcel Ruiz after the Mexican player passed the ball. So it's well deserved. And I think it's just Ismail Elfat sending a message of, okay, that needs to stop.
We've touched on it. The physicality. CONMEBOL is all about winning those battles, all about perhaps leaving your foot in. You survive CONMEBOL qualifying. You don't thrive.
Exactly. I think that's the right description.
Luis, again the pressure coming, twisting and turning. Not going to get a moment's peace. Pineda trying to play it forward and comfortable header clear. Lira. Ruiz. Just a little bit off with the pass going back for Vasquez. Sanchez almost connected like an extra centre back here. Lainez plays it forward first time.
Colombia's ball. I think Santi touched it at the end. The movement is not good. It is a reality that when your teammate has a ball, he needs options, but not the same option, not at the same passing lane, and not at the same height of the pitch. And I think Lira, Marcel, and Orbelín Pineda are coming to ask for the ball, but it's the same pass. So they need to change that a little bit to have more options.
Lerma. One in the central area, ball played out wide for the line. He's seen a lot of the ball early on here in this second half, trying to get between two, and Angulo just knocks it out of play for another Mexico throw in. And I go back to the start of the first half. There's a lot more positive from Javier Aguirre's side.
I agree. They have improved. They have been able to find a way to deal with Colombia's pressure. And obviously when you do that, your opponent will drop a little bit. I like that sequence from Lainez, even though he didn't create much, just sending the message that I'm going to be aggressive, attacking you and try to beat you on the 1v1. It sends a different message, and it changes the decision-making from your opponent.
Ball back with Malagon. Sanchez, this is just so close to the centre-back. Lira as well dropping in, almost inviting that pressure. They try and go over the top of it, but it's comfortable. Colombia winning the second ball easily.
And this is always my situation when your opponent is applying high pressure, kid. You know that. It's not a surprise. So if you know that your opponent is at one moment is going to do that, then you have to be ready to play that long ball and pass that line of pressure, connecting with your number 9. But if you just clear it as Malagon did, it's a 50-50 ball. If you play with purpose, with an idea of how to deal with not only the pressure, but the second ball after the pressure, you will have a high percentage of recovering that ball and start creating from them. I think Mexico needs to apply that because in the few games that they have been pressed, they haven't been able to deal in a proper way with it.
Long ball forward here from Colombia. That time it's Gallardo in the challenge. Ruiz looked like a little bit of a push in the back from Castaño, who got away with it. Dita goes back to his goalkeeper, Ospina. This considered a bit of a send-off for David Ospina, the veteran goalkeeper. We were struggling to come up with what way of phrasing that. Send-off, is that the best way?
I think so, yes. We had a chance here in Fox Deportes with talk with Cordova, the goalkeeper from Colombia, Boca Juniors, legendary goalkeeper, and he was saying that his favorite is Camilo Vargas from Atlas. That Kevin Mier is a great goalkeeper, but he hasn't been performing well in Mexico. And for him, the starter goalkeeper for Colombia is Camilo Vargas, but obviously Nestor Lorenzo said Ospina deserves this game, and that's why he's starting today for Colombia.
And then high pressure coming. Malagon, not sure of his own position. Memo Ochoa wanting to be a part of a record 6 World Cup again. He's back playing at the club level. Well, hell on the bench. Acevedo back in the mix as well. Lots of decisions ahead for Javier Aguirre. Not easy for a manager to whittle down the squad when you think of the number of players, the sheer volume of players that you have to call up over the cycles.
And after, I mean, it wasn't the result that everybody was expecting with the U20s at the World Cup, but I believe some players confirmed their good momentum, their good form. Obed Vargas, one of them. Gil Mora, another one. Montiel. So you never know. I was just mentioning in Boleto Norte America previously that there's some situations that you can face going to the World Cup. Huesca's injury, Luis Chavez's injury, and these players having good momentum with their clubs and with the national team, can be a possibility for Javier Aguirre.
And we saw the U20s. I know they got knocked out today, but Gilberto Mora just continues to impress everybody. And Javier Aguirre would not close the door on that one. He said he's not going to go to the U17 World Cup, which is upcoming. And I think most people would agree the right decision. But he and Obed Vargas having a very good season for Seattle Sounders. Showed he's ready to fight in the League's Cup final as well against a feisty Inter Miami side. So those two going to come back in the mix?
I believe so. I believe Gil Mora will be just as another option in this Mexican side. Sometimes find fans. I'll let you go here.
Chance to play here for Pineda, Lainez, those two played a little bit closer at the start of this half. Lainez, lovely skill. Orbelin Pineda, trying to whip that one in, just waited a fraction too long, and Jefferson Lemon got back in and made the interception. But good approach play between Pineda and Lainez. Lira, here is Lainez again. Dropped his shoulder really well in one sequence. Sanchez couldn't connect with him. Diaz trying to go over the top. Montes in a battle with Suarez, and that was a push in the back. And Suarez has to be careful. Again, he's going to plead his innocence.
Of course, you have to. Better from Mexico in this second half. You know, the counter press, the combination, the linking between players, and the interchanging of positions with the fullback, the winger. Like I said, a little bit more from Diego Lainez. Just the same that we just saw in these last sequences. He has the skills, he has the talent to do it, but sometimes he doesn't. I believe, this is a personal opinion, I believe he doesn't believe that he can do it at moments.
Good step from the defender. And a chance to break it. Luis Diaz making a really good run. What a pass from James. Diaz in behind. Scores. It is absolutely clinical from Colombia. James to Luis Diaz. And it's 2-0.
They don't need much time or space. If you let James Rodriguez get the ball, look up, he's skillful enough, talented enough to put a perfect ball. I don't know if it was the right decision from the defender, but what a great first touch from Luis Suarez. Cutting the field, cutting the angle from the defender. With that touch, eliminating the defender. And it's Jorge Sanchez tracking back. That first touch is everything and allows him not only to finish the play, but also denies the possibility of Cesar Montes to challenge to that ball. What a finish, world-class finish from a world-class player. 2-0 Colombia, a goal with a taste of coffee.
Oh, cafecito, my friend.
Oof.
And look at the look on his face as well. Almost disgust. What did you expect?
Wow.
He's got 10 goal involvements already in the Bundesliga. Absolutely incredible. And there was a sense of inevitability about it the minute James opened up on his left. And again, we go back to the James debate. Does he do enough off the ball? Does he track back? Guess what? 2 assists today again.
How can you argue against that? How can you argue against that? If he's going to be that influential in the games, of course you want him on the pitch. I will run for you, James. Don't worry.
Mariano, if you provided 2 assists a game, I will do everything you need.
Exactly. Some substitutions from Mexico.
Now Ruiz is out. Romo has come on into the middle of midfield. So that's one you had talked about and suggested would be a good one to see. Chucky Lozano is on. And he replaces Lainez.
Yeah, more dynamic players in the middle of the field. You know, Eric Sanchez, he's a box-to-box player. Orbelin Pineda was quiet, except for that chance that he has inside the box.
Corner kick delivered and cleared, and the volley was well hit. But now the counter-attack is on again, and again it's the same ball. James, inch perfect to Luis Diaz. He has 2 runners central. The ball played back into the path of James, and somehow they just got in each other's way. But look how quick, look how good Colombia are in counter-attacking moments. They're going to be a force to be reckoned with next summer.
Without a doubt, because they have that possibility to go forward, to be direct, but also they have so many players skillful enough to have possession of the ball. So many tools from Nestor Lorenzo leading to the World Cup.
You can almost picture Sanchez saying, I've done quite a good job on Diaz so far. He's not good at boom, gone. 2-0. It's absolutely incredible.
You cannot switch off, and they had a previous one when Johan Vazquez was able to deal with it, but if you give that opportunity, obviously you have to take the risk because you're losing, but you have to be ready because it's Luis Diaz. It's a top player.
Lozano is going to keep this in play. The referee's whistle's going to go, and it looked like both players were just battling for it. Ismail El-Fat saying there was a knock in the back of the head. Rodolfo, we're going to see the replay of this goal. I'll bring in Rodolfo afterwards, but just... Oh, that's actually the move moments ago. It was James and Suarez just got in each other's way. Or Serna, sorry, who'd made the run. Rodolfo, can you talk us through the changes? Anything in particular you're looking for from the players coming on?
Yeah, well, I asked Javier Aguirre yesterday about Luis Romo and his positioning. He usually occupies the middle of the park, but in Chivas, he's been playing as a center back, like a third center back for Gabi Milito. How much did it change his way of thinking of positioning Romo on the field? He said, I know that he used Romo with three in the back, but we've only played like that twice in this third spell of mine. So I have him as a number 6 or as a number 8. So we'll see how he can accompany the rest of the, like Eric Sanchez and Eric Lira today.
James, another cross. Just feel that Diaz and co are starting to enjoy themselves here. Suarez going for goal. Just starting to bring out some of the silky, sexy touches here. Colombia on the ball.
Of course, it's 2-0. It's a good momentum for Colombia in the game. You can see the quality, and when you're winning 2-0, of course, you're going to have those moments of magic. This is the last one from Suarez. He doesn't connect well, but we saw the previous combination between James Rodriguez and Luis Diaz.
Jimenez trying to break forward, and really good defending from Dita. Castaño, the ball played over the top to nobody in particular. I do want to clarify that as well, Mariano. We've been talking about how grueling CONMEBOL can be. They fight for the right to have moments like that where you have the fancy flicks, and Colombia have been all business tonight in terms of closing down and winning challenges, and now we're starting to see some of the skills, and this man in particular, Luis Diaz. Diaz trying to play that ball in behind, and well intercepted by Vasquez. Lukumi and Dita both going for the same ball.
It's getting a little choppy. I think Dita is fine. There was contact with Jorge Sanchez, but it was unintentional from Cruz Azul player. It's difficult to make substitutions. It was 1-0, and then Mexico conceded the second one. Then you enter the pitch with a different perspective. Now it's a good challenge for Romo and Eric Sanchez, and also Irving Lozano. He normally plays on the left-hand side with San Diego FC. Now he's playing on the right-hand side. He doesn't feel as comfortable, even though he played with Napoli in that position in Serie A. He's skillful. We all know Chucky Lozano, but I don't know if he has a spot with his national team.
These are the moments, right? You have to come in and offer something. Diaz. Sanchez with the challenge, and the referee's going to go to the notebook here. It's a yellow card, and you can tell what the Mexican players feel about that decision.
I don't even know if it was a foul. I think.
I thought he was already gone down.
Yes, I think it was a pitch.
He slipped.
Exactly. Look. If so, it was a Luis Diaz foul on Jorge Sanchez, because the Mexican defender doesn't cheat. Oh, no.
Yeah,
I take it back.
Yeah.
This is a yellow card for sure. Yes, his left butt, Jorge Sanchez made contact with Luis Diaz, as we saw in that last replay.
And
It's some frustration.
Yeah, Mexico hoping that James comes off before taking this. I don't think Néstor Lorenzo's going to do that. It was a better start to the second half for Mexico. They had more life, they had more energy, but that second goal changed everything. Well, they are the masters of set pieces.
But these are the scenarios that Javier Aguirre wants to see from the Mexican players.
Delivered in towards the far post. It's put back in and volleyed home. Jefferson Lerma with an absolute bullet to make it 3-0. Disaster for Mexico here. But take nothing away from that stunning strike from Jefferson Lerma.
What a strike. What a finish. Pure quality from the Colombian midfielder. The way he adjusts his body to make contact with the ball in a split of a second. He cuts the swing to make sure that the ball is going on target. Impossible for Malagon. What a goal. Well deserved by Colombia. Mexico shaky at the moment, and Colombia taking advantage of that. 3-0. Well deserved by Colombia.
Well, the excitement in the build-up to this one turning into frustration. Luis Diaz is going to come off. The Mexican defense will be happy with that. And Serna and Castaño perhaps as well. Carbonero is going to come on. Man who plays his club football at Internacional. Hamilton Campes, who plays for Rosario, also coming on. A rare opportunity for him. So this is Colombia taking a look at some of their own fringe players, because it was a very strong lineup to begin with.
It was. I think it was a combination of building on the same principles, the same football philosophy, and then maybe Serna over there just to see what he can do with the rest of players. Also Angulo playing as a fullback. And it's been good for Colombia. It's been a choppy game, Keith, most of the time, but Colombia, with their experience, with their quality, they have been able to take advantage of the momentum throughout the game to score those 3 goals and now manage the game in a way that it's more convenient for them.
Julian Quinones is going to get minutes here over the final 25. The press coming again. It doesn't stop, does it?
But you know why? It doesn't stop because as a player, you know, this might be the only opportunity that you will have to convince the coach to go to the World Cup. So if you have 5, 10, 15, half time, whatever it is, you want to create a good impression on their either Nestor Lorenzo or Javier Aguirre.
It's Bertarame and Quinones who are both going to come on. At the end of the road in this one for Santi Jimenez. And Alexis Vega is also going to be replaced. So that would suggest 2 attackers for 2 attackers in those advanced positions. How would you assess the performance of Santi tonight?
It was a difficult game for Santi Jimenez. I believe he tried. He had a couple of chances that he created himself. He wasn't fed as a number 9. It's difficult to rate him. I will say he delivered what it was expected based on how the game was played. Because he didn't have any clear chance, to be honest. Just a header, maybe. But other than that, he didn't have great opportunities.
Roma just a bit quicker with the urgency there, playing that ball out. Roma gets, again, in a higher position. I mean, it's about saving face, getting something you can hold on to moving forward. This has been a second half beating from Colombia. And a lesson ahead of the World Cup. And again, I mentioned Colombia did something similar to the US last summer in the build-up to Copa America. They really are that good.
And they understand the moments. There are moments in the game where they have to be physical, when they have to close the spaces. Sometimes they need to drop. And when they drop, they understand that as soon as they get the ball back with the speed they have up front, they can use that to create opportunities. And you need to be clinical when you have those opportunities. They have been clinical today. Because we saw the stats, the numbers after the first 45 minutes, and they were even though Colombia were ahead 1-0 in this second half. We saw Mexico playing better, but they conceded 2 goals already.
Well, James, his night is done. And what a performance he's had, 2 assists. Luis Suarez also coming off. They're going to be replaced by Rafael Borre from Internacional, who's well over 40 caps, so experienced, and Juan Quintero, a River Plate midfielder.
Quiet performance for this man, Suarez. I was expecting a little bit more from him.
He's not the 9 necessarily, is he, that gets involved as much, right?
That's
in
true.
terms of the build-up.
So it will be the same case as Santi Jimenez. It wasn't the game for him to shine. And now with Quintero on the pitch and the spaces they will find, be careful because he's so talented, so capable with the ball.
Yeah, he's a clever player. Did really well against Bolivia when he came on in what was a tight game. little bit of nervousness from Colombia ahead of that game. They weren't sure of qualifying until the final 2 match days. Montes. Playing it through for Lera. Gallardo in for Romo. Grass just cutting up a little bit there in the middle of that field as well. Quinones. Playing his club football in Saudi Arabia. One of the reasons why a manager like Javier Aguirre says nothing is decided is because of a performance like this. This is essentially a wake-up call.
It is for sure. I mean, it shows the lack of I don't want to say the lack of work.
That's a nice bit of skill, nice ball out wide. Quinones, Bertarami trying to go central. Gallardo pulls it back. The ball a little bit too narrow there as we saw 2 players attacking that space, Eric Sanchez and Bertarami. Munoz pushed and pressed and harried by Gallardo. Would identity be the word in terms of attacking intent, at least, that Mexico is still trying to find?
I would say the lack of resources from the players, not from the coaching staff, because I mean nowadays, kid, you can with the technology we have, you can analyze your opponent and you can decide we're going to play with 5 in the back, with 3 in the back, whatever that is. But if the players are not delivering, then your hands are tight, and I think that lack of resources from some players, and I will put an example, Jorge Sanchez, great effort, defensively was really good. You're facing Luis Diaz, you made 2 mistakes, 2 goals, but every time he's going to the final third, he's not creating anything. And if your strategy or your philosophy is for the fullbacks to go forward and try to be aggressive going forward, then if you don't have that forward, you might need to change that. Same as Orbelín Pineda. He's playing as a number 10, but he didn't create a single opportunity.
I'm trying to think of moments for Ospina. Orbelín had that one half volley effort right at the beginning of the half, but the goalkeeper's been generally a spectator for Colombia so far.
Yes, I agree with you. And it's not that Maragón had great saves, but they were clinical, scoring goals. This is amazing.
Oh.
He unleashes it. Finds the back of the net. Very difficult. Well, for some players, right? I mean, I won't say any names, but for some.
And again, I will refer to the fact that we do have video. He did score a number of goals, though, so I've got to watch what I say. Well, that was a hit. Lerma, not a noted goal scorer. More of an enforcer in midfield, but they have quality. Premier League quality. Bundesliga quality. And at James, they have the king of Colombian soccer. There's going to be a free kick here for Mexico. Rodolfo, just curious to hear your thoughts on the reaction on the sideline from the coaching staff after the second goal and third goal, and what they've been like since.
I agree. I mean, what more can you do from the bench? I think, to Mariano's point, Jorge Sanchez has done a great job, but when you got quality in front of you like Luis Diaz, and you get 2 hiccups, you're done. And when you want to face the top level internationally, you have to be better. It's not. I don't think that there's like a huge gap between both teams, but when I've spoken to Israel Reyes, you get a sense of what this could be in the World Cup atmosphere, and he told me you might get a sense of one of the opponents you might face in the group stage. So we have to be ready. We have to be better for this.
You always get that question, what's the difference between good and great and good and world class, and what separates it? And you just see the moment from Luis Diaz, the finish, how clinical it is. They don't need second invitations.
It's just they understand. They play at a level.
Sanchez thrown towards that near post area. The flick. Quinones sets it up for Gallardo on his left foot. That one well over.
Yeah, not too bad from Gallardo. They play at a level, Keith, where they know that they will only have maybe 1 or 2 chances. They need to score one. because if they don't, they're out of Champions League. They're out of the title of their leagues. So they know how to deliver under pressure, something that sometimes for Mexico's players is not the case. It's a big gap that we need to close, but I think Javier Aguirre, it's going in the right direction. I mean, this is a great test for Mexico. There will be a lot of critics raising their hands saying, "Oh, this is a terrible performance," and probably it was, but it is a good test for the Mexican side going to the World Cup.
This is good play coming forward here from Campos, one of the substitutes. Carbonero trying to play that ball on the far side. Munoz still getting forward, just couldn't get on the end of it, and gives the thumbs up again. He is real quality.
His work rate is impressive. He goes forward, he defends very well, and you can see the difference. We were talking about Jorge Sanchez, Crystal Palace player, and you can see the difference. Every time he goes forward, he has an influence in the game, and every time he is defending, it's been very difficult for whomever is playing there from Mexico to beat Munoz.
Carbonero closing down. The subs haven't dropped that level at all for Colombia. And the chip in behind that Munoz, who else? Making the overlapping run and quick off his line. Here's Malagon. Charlie Rodriguez is going to come on here momentarily. It's going to be a very different kind of test on Tuesday, Mariano, because Ecuador, not like Colombia, they don't want the ball. They'll allow you to have it and try hit in transition. So I'm very curious to see the lineup that Javier Aguirre is going to go with for that one, in terms of getting that balance right of being attack-minded and not leaving yourself open.
Yeah, that will be another good test. It will be playing Mexico, which will be different. The atmosphere will be different, even though Mexico has a lot of support every time they play in the States. The fans are different in Mexico and here in the U.S. Yes, it will be a different lineup, I'm 100% sure. Javier Aguirre will rotate some names, thinking in that possible scenario, because they're going to play the group games in Mexico, and knowing that there will be the home team, I won't doubt that teams will be conservative, trying to get something out of that scenario playing against the home team.
Charlie Rodriguez on, Lira off.
With that, Romo will be the number 6, and Charlie Rodriguez and Eric Sanchez will have more freedom.
We try different things. Charlie Rodriguez, a veteran of the national team in terms of cap numbers, and sometimes you have to bide your time again, wait for that opportunity again. But even though you're down 3-0, these last 15 minutes are important for players like Charlie Rodriguez coming on.
As a player, kid, going to the World Cup, you have to forget about the result. Yes, it is important to win, but you have to keep in your head that the coach is analyzing individual performances. Every detail counts. How do you react to losing 3-0? How do you react to the fans booing at you? How do you react to the different situations around you? And that can be the factor that will make Javier Aguirre take you, put you in that list, in that final list, or not.
Lozano. It's strange, we've covered him in MLS to just see him on the opposite side. He's done so well on the left. Gallardo, cross in, little flick back from Bertrami. Quiñones not going to get near that one, and Ospina comfortable.
And I was mentioning about Alexis Vega. He's done amazingly with Toluca, but with the national team, I believe his performances have been short. And I think today he didn't have a bad game, but it wasn't enough to create something, to score, to create a good opportunity. Maybe the Orbelín Pineda one was the only one. You have to improve that. You have to move your numbers if you want to be a solid starting for Mexico in the next World Cup. I think, honestly, Keith, with his performances, the wings are pretty open. I don't see any player being ahead of another in the starting 11. Even Chucky.
30 years of age, still very much in his prime. He's been around for so long, you feel like he's older, but he's had a very good season.
Absolute squad of Colombia, and here we have him, 119 games, just 11 away from David Ospina and 6 goals shy from the best goal scorer of the Cafeteros, which is Radamel Falcao. A couple of days ago, Nacho Ambriz, his new manager at León, asked him, hey, James, are you going to be playing in your last World Cup? Yes, so we got to get you ready. And he's showcasing his skills and how influential he can be. He was involved in all 3 goals and 2 assists today. That speaks of the quality that separates a guy like James and the rest of the Mexican squad.
And Rodolfo, a little bit like you, looks exactly the same as he did 14 years ago today. He does not age at all.
That is true. That is true.
Well, I will invite you a couple of carajillos in a later date. Keith, thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Rodolfo.
Where's he going?
I
That's
think
a,
he just told us
that's
where
a
he's
question.
going.
Where's
Yep.
he going? Is he gonna be a DJ again, or what is he gonna do now?
That's going to be interesting to hear some of the comments that he's going to get from,
Of course.
yeah, from some of the coaching staff and the players.
Oh, PK.
Oh, yeah, that's a strong challenge.
That's a
Ismail
penalty
Elfan
kick.
says no. And it's a yellow card for Romo.
Yeah, I understand Mexico's frustration because they feel that they have a play in a way that they deserve a little bit more, not a 3-0 against Colombia. That's a fact. They're losing 3-0, so they're trying to find something positive in this game. I believe there's contact. I don't know if that was enough for a PK. We'll see. It's being reviewed, of course.
I was going to tell you, he did well to just attack the space. Chucky Lozano, here we go.
Oh, that's a penalty.
Yeah.
You know,
Completely missed the ball.
Yeah, Irving Lozano makes contact with the ball. And he's Kevin Castaño, the River Plate player, being late. Makes contact with Irving Lozano. Great movement and great layoff by Germán Berterame, a player that I like playing as a number 9. Maybe you can pair him up with Raúl Jiménez or Santi Jiménez. I think that tandem can bring some good results to Javier Aguirre. Under the new rules, kid, this is a PK.
There's the touch, the ball's taken away. It just makes a little bit of contact on the leg of Castaño there. But I'm with you. I thought he followed through. I thought he made contact with Chucky Lozano.
No? He said no. I mean, I don't understand the rules anymore, to be honest. For real, I mean, I don't even know when it's a handball, when it's a foul, when it's not a foul. The interpretation of the rules are so different. But we have more.
With more Mexico games coming up as well. Taking on Ecuador Tuesday, 10:30 p.m. Eastern. You've gone from a side that can defend well, of course, in Colombia, but have those moments of real attacking quality, to an Ecuador side who are just locked down defensively.
And they do have speed, but not the same way Colombia. So yeah, breakaways will be important for Ecuador. But this Colombian side, it poses a different threat when you leave spaces behind, especially with Luis Diaz.
And Juan Portilla, the man who's playing for Talleres in Argentina, about to come on. Richard Rios is very, very good at it. A good Copa America, the Benfica man in the middle of midfield.
I think he's a starter in this team.
I think so.
You know, it's Lerma and him in the middle of the field. John Arias as well. He wasn't called for this international break. And Nestor Lorenzo and then Poundins in Colombia were saying this is a good opportunity for Nestor Lorenzo to see some different faces. We know his starting 11.
That's good from Chucky Lozano here, and he's got Berterame making a run to the other side. Quinones arriving back for Chucky Lozano, tries to go for goal and just couldn't get the purchase he wanted on it. But a good break, and it was all instigated by Chucky Lozano.
And this is what you want from players like Irving Lozano. We know they have the quality, but the desire, the intensity, you can see that he's fighting for a spot. He has done very good in Major League Soccer. And with performances like today, at least he sends the message that he wants to be there. You can see the difference between what Lainez did and what Chucky Lozano has done with less minutes on the pitch.
Carbonero, good strength again from the substitute. That one takes a deflection, and grateful to see Malagon get that into his hands. It was Campas out wide. Carbonero, he's been all over the place since coming on.
Yes, Yeah, you mentioned it, the substitutions from Colombia. I don't know if they improve the quality of the team. And it's not that the ones playing are worse or better, but it's only the desire of catching the eye of your coach.
ওইবারে পরিষ্কার করে
The
ওইবারে
World Cup is
করেছিলাম
around
তো
the
এদিকে আর
corner.
আনতে
You want
পারলাম
to take advantage of
আমি ওটা আইডিয়া
every opportunity you have.
মান সমান খাইছে
Castagno and Lerma coming off. What a goal from Lerma, by the way, that third goal.
That's the best goal.
Yeah, absolute bullet. And one thing in games like this, I think you learn as well, Mariano, is we talk about open play, creating. Set pieces are massive, and they're going to be massive in the World Cup. We saw that today from Colombia. Whatever about Luis Diaz and open play, James and his passing, set pieces played a massive part in this final result.
It's just that opens a different set of opportunities because the game was even. After that goal from Colombia, the game changes because Mexico needs to take more risks. That opened more space for Colombia, and then the game it's being played in a different way. So set pieces will be key, not only in the World Cup but also in the preparation too.
It's a strong challenge again. No whistle. The ball played in over the top. Carbonero in a battle with Montes. He gets there, and he's going to score. What a moment for him! Overcome with emotion. The substitute who's been all energy scores for Colombia. Horror night for Javier Aguirre is complete. 4-0.
All his teammates happy for Johan Carbonero, the Internacional do Porto Alegre player, 26 years of age. Huge mistake by Malagon. And again, these are the little things that Javier.
You love to. This is what the emotion of the game is about. On his debut, he's waited this long, and he was overcome.
His reaction is priceless. What it means for a player to represent your country, to score your first goal for your country, regardless of the competition, the opponent, the game, it means a lot. All the effort, all the dirty work that you have to do to get to that point, it pays off when you leave moments like this. Yes, Javier Aguirre is not happy. Mexican staff are not happy with Mexico's performance. You cannot crumble the way Mexico did. You can concede the first one, the second one, but in a World Cup, kid, this result can make the difference. You will lose the 3 points, but the 4-0 can be an extra handicap against Mexico. So they mentally they need to be stronger.
Ball over the top, looking for Lozano. Ospina, he's going to enjoy this end off. Takes it on his chest and just launches it forward. Just on the celebrations for Carbonero's goal. We always talk about the best teams have a great culture as well. You saw what it meant to his team.